All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to put a shock to your system because the Atlanta Raichus are back with another draft league, and we are here to defend our title of champion in the TBL. And we just actually had our draft, and when you have a draft, you have to have a draft analysis. So, and if you didn't already know, my name is Playmaker. I am the coach of the Atlanta Raichus, and alongside with me, we have Manbird, who is actually a really good friend of mine, and he'll actually take a few moments to introduce himself.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm Manbird. I also go by Buttermink. I go by Phoenix. I'm also a coach in this league, specifically of the Fort Wayne Gastrodons. I have a YouTube. If you want to check me out, my mic quality is terrible, but hopefully I make you cringe till you laugh.
That's all we can ask for, Manbird. Okay.
It's what I do.
So I'll just go ahead and say that a lot of changes are to be made with this team throughout the season because I did not game plan my draft well enough prior to this thing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So first up, we have a round one pick with the 6th overall pick, Zero Aura. So, Member, what are your thoughts on Zero Aura?
I've used it. Solid tier 2. A lot of people, when it first came out, like, oh, it could be tier 1, but I'm like, nah, it doesn't get access to Ice Punch, which hurts its better physical attack. It doesn't get Fighting Stab, which would make this thing an absolute monster. It's a good overall mon. It gets set up on both sides with Calm Mind or Bulk Up. It gets Plasma Fist, obviously, which is the best physical electric move in the game. As long as we're not counting Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and be honest, who does? It's blazing fast. 143 is one of the fastest things in the meta game. It outspeeds Coco, plus can take a Thunderbolt / Volt Switch from Coco very easily. It outspeeds everything, but I think Voltorb and a few select mons like that. It's ridiculously fast. It gets access to Fake Out. It has a move pool, is physical. It gets Fire Punch, Electric move, Fighting move, and on the special side, it gets Fighting move, Electric move, Hidden Power, and that's pretty much what it does. It does get Volt Switch, so it has that nice 143 momentum, and while I don't think it's a good overall number 1, or not an overall number 1, but a good first round pick, it probably wouldn't have gotten back to you, so taking it in the 6th position, I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Tishan really wanted this thing, so yeah, actually, him and Gold wanted this, so I don't think it would have made it to me.
Yeah, probably not.
But I did pass up on Celestial for it, so I kind of have regrets about that. But in any case, that's okay. We'll go ahead to our second pick, Garchomp. So with Garchomp, I kind of am regretting this pick too. I should have taken Mega Venusaur, just because I already have some form of offense and I need some defense. And yeah, I didn't take Mega Venusaur. I just was like, you know what? I really liked Ground Stab. And what has really good Ground Stab? Oh, Garchomp has really good Ground Stab. And, you know, I guess it can be used defensively, especially with its HP and defensive stat, but, like, who uses Garchomp defensively? I mean, I guess some people do, and I'm not going to be that guy to be like, oh, you guys don't know what you're doing. But when you draft a Garchomp, you're trying to get some offensive pressure with it. Just saying.
I've definitely seen a Stealth Rocky Helmet set pop up from time to time.
Sure.
But as a whole, it is more of a physical attacker, definitely. But it is a really good one. 130 attack, Ground Stab, as you mentioned, Dragon Stab. It gets Fire Fang. It gets I think it gets Thunder Fang. I've never ran it if it does, so it's pretty useless as a move on it. It gets Slide Edge. I like it. I actually have it in a league where I went 8-3 plus 26 in, and it put in a lot of work for me. So Garchomp gets my seal of approval.
Okay. Now that we talked about Garchomp, let's move on to Mimikyu. I know this is a favorite of yours. Do you want to say anything about it?
Well, it is a favorite of mine. It's also a mon that I actually wanted in this draft. One of the three ghost types that got stolen right out from under me. So that's fun. But Mimikyu, my favorite Pokemon, just its design alone is enough to just melt your cold, dead heart. It's just like, oh, he's so precious, and I must protect him at all costs.
Yeah.
And well, as you can see, he's only got 90 attack. But what really makes Mimikyu is its ability disguise, which allows it to take one hit as long as it's not, from a mold breaker mon. Take one hit, zero damage, does nothing to it, and then that gives it a chance to like swords dance up. It can get a will o wisp off, destiny bond if it wants to, and then it gets access to shadow sneak. It's got that fairy type. It's even got that special Z move that is copyrighted and will get your video taken down if you run it. Uh, it's got a great special defense, actually, 105, so it can take a special hit if it needs to. And overall, just Mimikyu, I think, is a very good mon. It's very fun to use, and I'm a big fan of it.
Hmm. Interesting. Yep. Yep. That pretty much sums it up. Is there anything else? Yeah, guys, there will not be a special Mimikyu that I'll be running, regretfully to say. But
50 special attack, you gotta love that.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Uh, but yeah, I'm sorry for sniping you, Manbird. That was
It happens. But don't
unfortunate.
worry. Don't threat yourself.
In hindsight, I should have actually gotten Scissor. Like that would have.
Yeah, but honestly, I think my team turned out well, and I'm actually pretty proud of the ghost that I did end up getting. So, especially after I traded. Actually, that might be a spoiler, but who cares? My audience probably won't watch this anyway.
Yeah, you're fine.
I don't even have an audience, honestly.
You got Jellicent. That's good enough.
Yeah, I eventually got it. Week 2.
Alrighty.
Love Jellicent. Great mon. So do you want to move on to your next one?
Yeah. Let's move on. This is one of my favorites. This is Volcarona. I have nicknamed it Perfection because that's what it is. Basically, I just love Quiver Dance and Fiery Dance, and like those are two of my favorite moves probably in the game. So yeah,
I mean,
probably
that's
see
fair
that
enough.
very often.
Yeah, I mean, I once tried a mega, sorry, not a mega Volcarona. That would be broken. A Volcarona, and honestly, it just kind of, I wasn't all that impressed with it personally. I just, for some reason, all my opponents knew how to play well around it, and I just never really got it up to its potential where it was sweeping teams, and they'd always have something in the back that could take a hit and revenge it, and was very difficult to use. And plus, that quad walk weakness with 65 base defense hurts it a lot.
Yeah, that's some of the more unfortunate things about Volcarona. I just wish it. I wish it just had a little bit more defense. That's just kind of me wishing for a lot, but
Yeah.
uh,
But then again, if it had that, it might just be broken.
yeah. I think the other thing is that it's definitely something that needs to set up on the right thing too. Like you can't just set this up on anything.
And it has to make sure its checks in the back are dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. All right. Next, we got the Mega Pick. Yeah. So you want to talk about this thing? I know you're trying it out in a league of yours. So
I actually have not gotten to use it yet because we're on week 2, and I traded for it week 3. But Mega Gyarados, 95 HP, 109 defense, 130 special defense. Surprisingly bulky. It gets access to Roost, because it was a flying type at one point before it gained the dark type on Mega Evolution. It's got Dragon Dance, which makes it an amazing sweeper. It's got that Mold Breaker EQ, which means that stuff like Aggron or Levitate Mons are going to take massive damage from it. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, but most Levitate Mons are Psychic anyway, which this thing's Crunch is going to just devastate when it hits it with. This, once it gets, this is like Volcarona, except bulkier on both sides. Because once it gets set up, if you don't have an answer to it,
you probably just game over at that point, man. Game over.
Yeah, yeah. As you guys could tell, this draft is super hyper offensive, and just have I don't know. I just kind of like was like, oh, I like this and I like that. I think I just really got caught up with because there's a rule that you have to mega evolve on the first turn, and I just kind
Yeah,
of was like, all right, so basically the better things are the ones that can just uh, like intimidate before mega evolving. So I was like, okay, so Meg Gyarados is one of those, and then Mega Mawile
yeah,
is
definitely.
another. Can't think of any other ones off the top of my head. I mean, Salamence, of course, but it's not allowed. So
Obvious. If Salamence was allowed, this would be a massive unleague. There is
yeah,
no switch-ins.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like Celesteela is Salamence's only switch-in, and that's if it's running physics.
Now that we talked about that, let's move on to Necrozma. This is
Necros.
this is one that I picked really because I needed some sort of wall, but at the same time, like it's just like super awesome. Like it's like in terms of its attacks stats, and so uh, I think I guess depending on the matchup, I'll be using it either offensively or defensively, and this thing does get a few cool moves, like some of the staples like knockoff um, and like some sort of recovery with like moonlight, for example, and
Yeah, and plus, this thing is bulky enough to where it actually lives a +6 play rough from a Slowpup, which is annoying but amazing.
huh. Okay, well that's something I'll have to consider then. That's that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Well, thank you for that
Hey, we
information.
don't play this season, so that's
Yeah, that's fine. That's really cool though. Okay.
yeah, no, it's crazy. I can show you the calc.
Yeah, perhaps
It's like
after the
nuts how much
stream.
damage it.
But yeah, and then photon guys are obviously it's like one of the coolest moves. So like that was another reason I had to draft this thing.
Yeah,
As you can tell, I'm just drafting things just because they're cool, not because like they have any sort of team cohesiveness, if you will. Uh,
yeah. It's definitely a rough team, but it has potential. Rough around the edges, but there's something in
oh man, rough indeed, man, rough indeed. And then speaking of rough, how about this Crobat right here?
Yes, Crobat. Like a good Mon, a weird Mon, but a good Mon, certainly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really just drafted this for its speed. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. I have to say that
Infiltrators are really good at it, certainly.
yes, Infiltrator is an awesome ability, and I don't know how many people are gonna try to set up a sub on me this season, just because like it's so hyper
Yeah,
offensive, and or my team is so hyper offensive, I should say, and that um, it's just kind of would be interesting if you just try to set up a sub on something that will probably kill you regardless. So,
yeah.
but you know what? It's cool. I'll take it. And then, um, and yeah, I unfortunately this is just only the second Pokemon I have that has Defog, and I have a Volcarona on my team. So like
That
we're making
actually
moves,
might.
but they might not be
Wait,
the best moves. So
Gyarados doesn't get defog?
Gyarados does not get Defog.
I mean, it did start out as a flying type.
Yeah, but does it really fly?
Yes, it does in its original form, at least here. Let me look it up. It should, because it's a
Okay.
tutor move. It does not. It is one of the only flying types to not get defog.
It's
Wouldn't you know it?
convenient, right? Very convenient.
Or inconvenient in this case.
Yeah, inconvenient.
At least it's a very reliable defogger. Like, it'll almost always get it off. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about it.
And I was actually just looking back. So Mega Gyarados does not actually get Roost.
It doesn't get roost either. Oh my goodness! What is this thing
It
doing as a
gets
flying
Rest.
type?
It gets
It
Rest,
gets
but
like
it
no
doesn't get
fly.
Roost.
it's a flying type without any flying moves
It gets
besides
bounce.
bounce. And I don't even know if it gets fly. I don't think it
No,
does.
it does not get fly. I mean, can you imagine Gyarados flying? Doesn't even get
Nope, it gets
acrobatics,
bounce.
dude. Come on, like,
It gets Hurricane at least. I mean, if you want to go special with like Fire Blast, Hurricane,
dude,
uh,
we're
Dark
not
Pulse
messing
maybe.
with special Mega Gyarados. I'm sorry, dude. That's like crazy.
70 special attack, you can't diss it. Actually, you can. It's terrible, but you can't diss it.
Right. Okay. Let's move on. All right.
Moving on
Now,
down the line.
you know, with Trump being our president, I naturally had to pick Stack Attacker. Like that was just a thing. I mean, do you see that defense? Like nobody's getting over this wall. Like
Literally.
literally. Uh, yeah, this thing's actually pretty
We
cool. I was actually looking into it, and I was thinking of some pretty cheeky stuff with it. I'm actually gonna
all know you love the mons you can go cheeky with.
yes, yes. This thing, I'm hoping to 6-0 someone with this thing. I'm not gonna name names just yet, but there is a team that I have a plan to 6-0 someone with this thing. So,
With a stack attacker. I mean, it's really hard to do because you only get 4 turns of Trick Room. And, once those run out, generally, you'll be to the point where you're chipped down and you could get revenge. But if you can make it work, then it's definitely worth the.
we're gonna try, my friend. We are going to try. Like I'm telling you, dude, even resisted Gyro Ball does like 50% to a lot of things. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I even tried to like do like IV spreads and EV spreads of like um, with this thing, but unfortunately, the defense is always going to be the highest stat, so it's always going to go above.
Oh, there's actually a way if you use very specific IV and EV and like cripple your defense. I mean, not that it needs much, not that it even cares because it's like 211 on its base, that you can actually get the attack. There's a very specific set that you have to do to get it, though. Like, you have to sacrifice a lot of IVs and
I
run a
think I
negative
did try
defense mate.
that. I think I did try that. Even then, it's still like 6 points. The defense is still 6 points higher than the attack. So like,
Hold on, let me check it out.
all right,
Put it at level 50. Maybe that only works for level 100 and it's more
yeah, it's
specific.
probably just a level 100 thing. For level 50, it doesn't work, but it'd be awesome if it did.
Oh no, here I found it. Let me just make sure. Uh, well, uh you can run lonely 252 attack with 17 IVs in defense, and you have the same attack and defense stat. And since Beast Boost prioritizes attack, you will get the attack. So you'd have to be lonely 252 attack, 17 IVs in defense to get an
Okay, I'll
attack
make a
boost
note
out.
of
So it's
that.
possible. It's definitely possible.
I'll make a note.
Just wow, you have to do a lot of fiddling around.
Next up, we got the most uncomfy or double pick. Comfy.
Oh, the funds! I love them.
I have a lot of intentions of potentially dropping this thing very fast, but we'll see. Uh, yeah, like that's basically how it's gonna go down. Yeah, and I mean, priority draining kiss is cool. Priority, what
If
was it,
only it had an
synthesis?
actual base power. It,
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people try to combine sweep with this thing too, which is pretty cool.
I guess I could see that working against a team that doesn't have a good physical steel, or didn't bring it that week.
Yeah, pretty much. Uh, yeah, and then if they did have a steel type, you just have to bring like HP fire or something.
True, true.
All right.
Definitely.
Um, I mean, I guess there's not really much else to say. This is my third defogger, guys. So
Hmm.
not a
Yeah.
lot of
Say
things to.
hello to it.
Yeah, like I'm actually, I actually had intentions of getting Laurentis at this pick, but it got sniped with one pick before me, and I was so pissed.
You hate to see that.
I hate to see it.
You definitely hate to.
Quite, my friend, quite hate to see it. All right, so next up, we got Leah Vanny, and yeah, I mean everybody knows what this thing does.
Yes, yes, it does. It sets up webs and then maybe kills something, maybe die.
Yeah, pretty much, and yeah, and this thing, yeah, web. Yeah, you're right. So webs, and then it can also be a cleric too. Uh, I mean,
Hmm.
its
Definitely.
defenses are okay. They could be better. It's okay. I
It's
forgive
not
you.
a bad mon. It just has a lot of weaknesses that hold it back.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's like 4 times weak to fire. It's weak to bug and rocks, and yeah, it's just unfortunate. And I already have a bug type already, but you know what? We're gonna
Yeah.
make this work. This thing's gonna be a freaking badass. Just you wait. And
It's gonna
last but
come
not
in
least, we
clutch.
got the uh, evolution Glaceon, and this thing's
Yes,
actually.
very. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I mean I pretty much just got it just because it's a cleric uh, to some degree. It gets some. I mean, yeah, it gets freeze dry and blizzard and all that stuff, but it's also going to be able to wish. It's going to be able to heal Bell. It's got, unfortunately, quite a number of weaknesses. Another rock weakness. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
basically, if you get rocks up on my field, I just lose.
uh, yeah. They're not. You don't have many ways. I mean, I guess Confe can remove them fairly decently, as long as the rock is, not Niddle King or Niddle Queen or something of
Yeah,
that
I'm
description.
thinking,
Then it just,
dude, like,
nope, I'm out of here.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm thinking, like, I guess I'll tell you, like, the things that, I mean, I'm definitely dropping Comfey, but, like, I do need better, like, cleric support if that's the case. Um,
Yeah, that makes
it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, my friend.
it is indeed what it is, and
Uh,
you cannot know what it is before you know what it is, and
yeah,
what
I
it
just
is,
need a
it
need a
isn't.
fat wall, pretty much.
But yeah, Glaceon's a weird pick. Very slow. It's good on the defensive side, and actually special defense doesn't have much HP. But what really holds it back is that pure ice typing. It's just
Yeah,
not. It doesn't appreciate that, and it's a very hard mon to use. Also, 60 attack doesn't do much to help it with its ice charge that it can use.
right.
But it's interesting, and I've seen it work occasionally. And maybe you'll unlock the secret tech that makes it the best mon ever.
Yep, yep. I do plan on using this in at least one matchup. I don't know if I'll use it more than that, but you know, I think that's really what tier fives are for. Just like really like maybe 1, 2 matchups, and that unless they have a lot more utility to them. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
definitely.
We'll see. All right, Manbird. Well, that concludes our draft. Thank you for joining me, my man. And I
Yeah,
will
no
see
problem. It was
you.
absolutely a pleasure.
I'll see you basically every day of the week.
Yeah. Well, good luck with your season, and
Thank you, man.
maybe we'll meet each other in playoffs.
I hope so, my friend. I hope so. All right. You take care, my friend.
You as well.
Okay. All right. Pieces, brother.
Peace.
And pieces out to everybody else who's watching. See ya.